Good morning, witches. It's March 3rd. Oh my gosh, I've been sick for an entire month and I'm exhausted. I'm starting to get my energy back, so I am starting to do some more work. Um, okay, this is all. I apologize. I had this perfect and then it just got weird. Okay. Anyway, it says I'm live, so I'm doing this, and what I'm doing is money management, and this is a part of some videos that I'm doing that I'm kind of vlogging, I guess, but teaching at the same time what I do for my own shadow work. What I've been doing, I'm testing out some new things, some new ideas, some new exercises, and I just wanted to share what I'm doing as I go through it and my results and everything. And hopefully, you can get some ideas and some inspiration so that you can work on yourself. And hopefully, you can do your own shadow work a little bit easier. So today we're going to talk about money management. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I know from students that come to me and take the self-mastery for witches course, 9 times out of 10 they do not have a budget. They are in a situation with money that is they're not on stable ground, and they do not have a budget. And for years and years and years and years, I did not have a budget either, and I worried about money all the time, 24/7. 24/7 was worrying about money. And the reason, and when I started doing my own shadow work, what I discovered was that worry means you don't know what's going on. You don't have a plan. You don't know what's going to happen, what you need to do to respond. You don't have an idea of how you're going to respond. That's why we do fire drills at home. You're supposed to do fire drills at your home, and a lot of times they do fire drills at work, because when the fire alarm goes off, they want you to know what to do. So when you have a budget, you know what to do. You know what's happening. Okay, yes, all that you're going to see is my laptop, because the turnaround button, it's funny, Holly. So I had it set up so I can push the camera, rotate or turn it around so you can see the other side. So I wanted to, so you could see me. But for some reason, I don't know why, but it moved, and it was underneath my bracket. So, and then the camera was going through the bracket. So I had to move the phone to the other side of the bracket. So anyway, it's weird. I don't know. I need a camera. That's what I need. I need to not have to use my phone. But anyway, yes. So right now you just see my laptop. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully that's working. So anyway, I was talking about money management and worrying about money incessantly. That's what I did. And when I put a budget together, then the worry went away. And when the worry would come back, I'd open up my budget and look at it, and magically the worry would disappear, and I'd have relief. No more stress on the money. Even if I knew that a particular week was going to go into the red, I knew when it was going to come out of the red. Oh, cool. Thank you, Holly. So knowing when I was going to come back out of the red gave me so much stress relief. And I was more in control of my money, because then I can shift money around, because I can see all of it, all of my expenses, my income. And sometimes I could shift things around, maybe reduce a payment on one credit card to cover an unexpected bill that popped up. So, and before I would keep it all in my head. I have maybe $250 in the bank, maybe. And hopefully I didn't forget about something that I paid for and that it came down and I don't know about it. I don't remember. It just float around in my head. When it floats around in your head, it's in the ethers. It's not real. When you put it in a budget, then it's real. And then you have more control over it because you see everything and you're not forgetting anything. Okay. So that's the idea behind having a budget. So you have more control over your money and you can plan, you can have a strategy. Okay. So I use Google Drive because I have a Gmail account. It's free, and they give you a generous amount of space, 15 gigs. And I've only got 5.5, and I put a ton of stuff in here already. Lots of pictures and stuff. So, there we go. So I have my budget, and in here this is an old budget. But this is what I do. This is unconventional. This is not what they teach you in school. This works for me. So, what I did learn in school, I took an elective class called business class, and they taught us budget, how to keep track of expenses. And basically the expenses were way across the top. So I would have to scroll all the way across to find the expense that I need to put in. And that I'm not going to do that. My little brain is not going to let me do that. So I have this that I put together because this works for me. Now you can do a search for budget forms, and I would add free budget forms in your search, and you can find all sorts of forms, and a lot of them already have a formula built into it. So all you have to do is plug in your numbers and it automatically adjusts and calculate for you, which is awesome. This is Dave Ramsey's thing, free budget thing. You have to sign up for the email, and they send you an email like every day, but you can get off the email list if you want to. But again, I can't get my little brain to work with this. It's just for some reason it's too much work and it doesn't work for me. But try it. It might work for you. It's free. There are a lot of forms that are free out there. So this is what I do. These are my expenses. And actually, my new budget, I did this. I highlighted this so that when I'm going through it, I know I don't need to mess with it. This one is an annual and this one is biannual. So I've already plugged the numbers in for the year and I don't need to mess with it. So when I'm going through it, I know I just skip over that. I don't have to look over here at the date. So this is when I get paid. This is when this card is due. So I look here and I look here. The 28th is after this one. So I would put the payment for this card over here. And I've already paid it. When I already pay it, then I move the amount over here. So I remember how much is set up. This is an auto pay. So it reminds me of how much is in the auto pay. So every month it's going to take out $50. And I put a 0 here because I make a summation at the bottom here. So this Sub and Save is on Amazon. And when I have it set up, I'll put a date here when it's going to process and how much it's going to come out. A lot of times I'll put this on a credit card because I don't have enough in my budget. But this is something that saves me a ton of money. So I get supplements and essential oils and things like that through the Sub and Save. This is an Amazon card. I made it red. This is a Visa card. I made it red because the only automatic choices I have is to pay it all off or minimum. And so I have to go in each month and put in a different, because I want to pay more than the minimum. So, but I changed that on today's budget and I made it on the minimum for right now. And that comes from Dave Ramsey. He says to put all of to pay off your credit cards, put them all on minimum, except for the lowest balance card with the lowest balance. And then you target that one and put all your money into paying off that credit card and then just keep going. So this is on a minimum right now because I'm trying to pay off some other credit cards and then I will target this one. So it's on the 3rd. I look at this 13th, that's after the 3rd. So it's not going to process during this pay period. but it will here. So here, because this I was paying extra, this is my confirmation number, and this is the amount that I set up the auto pay for, or the payment for that one month. Okay, so this one is an auto pay, and it is due on the 23rd, which is between these two. This is pay period, and then this is my next paycheck. So it is going to cycle during this pay period. So I put it there. So on and so forth. And this one is also, I cannot set it up for the amount that I want. I have to go in manually each month. So I'm turned it red. And then when this is the amount that I want to pay, and I put it red until I actually go in and put in the payment, and then I change it to green like this one. Then I know I've already set up the payment and it's gonna go. Otherwise, I'll miss that payment. So so it's in red to tell me that. So I set up these little color codes for myself in notes. Like this was the last payment, and this is now done for the year. And I could probably change this to, to this color. Okay, well, it's supposed to be the same color. Never mind. Anyway, and those are annual and biannual. Here's my savings. And this is what I give to Skip to pay mortgage and utilities and all that. My groceries, car payment, Walmart card, and then any miscellaneous that comes up. And then I summation, highlight everything plus here. So say this is blank for right now. I just put all these numbers in. And then I go up. I'm pretty sure you can see that, right? It's under my bracket, so I can't tell. It's a sum symbol. So you just click on that. Okay, sum. Okay, so this is different. In Excel, you go to the next empty cell, and it will put the sum in that spot. But here, I think you have to go just to there, and it automatically puts it to the next cell. Sum, yes. Okay, so here is the formula. Equals sum, and then in parentheses, B2, which is, this is B2, that cell, all the way down to B17, which is the last cell in this column. And that puts the total there. And then this is my paycheck, and I'm getting $3,000 from before, so I'm adding it. So from last pay period, I had $3,000. I think it was my my bonus from work or something like that. So I added it to it, and I have $81 left over. Okay. So I can make an extra payment on one of these other credit cards, or, you know, put it in savings or something, whatever I want to do. And this is my paycheck, my income. So throughout the pay period before the next paycheck, I will check my checking account and see if anything is processed. So if this processed, so this, we'll go over to this one. So if something processed, like this one processed, and when I set it up for the payment, I turned it green, because this is the one that I have to manually go in. I can't set it up on automatic. So I turned it green, and then when it actually goes through my checking account and is the $120 is taken out, and then I put it in here. And this is my confirmation number, just in case something happens. I can say, hey, this is a confirmation number. I put this in, and you know, whatever, so that they can look it up. So this one was already paid in the paycheck before, so this is 0. And this is just in my savings for right now, because I was probably trying to figure out what we're going to do with it, and waiting on Skip to bring up, you know, expenses, extra expenses that we need to put extra money towards. And so this already processed. $1,000 to skip. So I changed that to 0. I just highlighted yellow because this is what I have to figure out what I can give to skip for other bills for utilities and stuff. And then if I've already spent money on the groceries, then I put that to 0. So I just go through my checking account online and I will adjust my income according to what is in my checking account. So if this is all I have left in my checking account, then I put that in there as my as income. But this is what I get from my paycheck. Hopefully that makes sense, because I want to remember how much I'm getting each month. So like this one, yeah. So I make an adjustment. The interesting thing you can do is here you have a formula. If you copy it and paste it to the next column, I can copy this, copy, and put it here, and it's going to change this because I have $25 added to it. So if you do this, and you can take instead of putting in the formula every time, you just copy and paste it, but you have to watch this because if you added any money, you need to take it out. So hopefully that makes sense. And you can go on YouTube and find out how to use a spreadsheet. So like this is the budget that I was taught in school, and you would have all your expenses all the way across the top. All, everything that goes out, and then you put the date, and then your paycheck, and here's the total of expenses. Now, what used to happen, okay, so this is, Excel isn't too bright. It's got some wonky things. Used to be able to do this, and then click on the sum, auto sum, but now it's putting it over here instead of where it should be putting it, which is over here. So I just copy, or I should have cut and paste. No, that didn't work. Never mind. Okay, how did I do that? So it's only going to sum from the left to the right. So how did I do that? Oh, I know what I did. Let's see, so D3, yep, to H13. So what I'll do is I'll copy that and put it here. You buzzard. It worked for me earlier. Okay, so here's a trick. Just copy that, put it down there. And it automatically changes to D3 instead of up here, which is D2. And that makes it so much easier. You just copy and paste, and it adjusts the formula to make it work. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. And like I said, Excel is not too bright sometimes. But anyway, this just bothers me. It doesn't work for me. And Skip gets it to work. He has some very, very complicated spreadsheets for keeping track of money. He's brilliant at it. And he has, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 spreadsheets for all sorts of different things he's doing. He also owns businesses, so he has a spreadsheet for each business. But anyway, this is how I keep track of it. And if this turns up a negative number, I at least know when the next paycheck is going to come in, how much it's going to be. So it's $14.34. That's going to be my next paycheck. And I can make adjustments on, okay, so I have a lot of money in savings. I can bring that down and give me some extra money to make other payments if I need to. So hopefully that'll help you build your own budget and figure out what works for you. Definitely check out Dave Ramsey's budget and see if this works for you. I've got all the formulas in it. So all you need to do is plug in your numbers and it'll do all the calculations. And you can also do free budget form, and it'll come up a whole bunch. What I do is I go to images, click on images. Then I get a little preview of the budget. It's not showing up on the camera. How odd. Okay, so it's not showing up very well. Sorry about that. How about that one? No, that one's not showing up very well either. Okay, so sorry about that. But you can do a search and just kind of, look at these. Oh, there it is. It's showing up now. And just look at different forms and see what works for you. A lot of these places, they're going to want you to get on their email list, but you can always get off of it. You can unsubscribe it later. But this is so, so important to keep track of your budget. Just knowing your numbers and what's coming in and what's going out, it gives you so much power and control over your money, because now I know all of my expenses. I can't keep all of this in my head. It's just not gonna stay in my head. I'm gonna forget some of these numbers. So I cannot efficiently and to manipulate or change, like maybe like this is my gas card. So I can reduce that a little bit. There might be a little bit of room in there. So, if I have a car problem and I got to pay for new brakes, I can make, some adjustments, maybe reduce this payment. I have some cushion in there somewhere. I do have some savings. So it's also go to your bank, and I can't stress this enough. Work with a small bank, a state bank. Don't go with Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Those guys, those big banks, they will nickel and dime you to death. Go to a small bank, a credit union, set up a checking account. Excuse me. Actually, multiple checking accounts, a vacation checking account, and then when you go on vacation, you have that debit card for that checking account, so you can set up all your expenses through that checking account, and you've already got it all saved up. And you can do one for car emergencies, like all of a sudden, you run into a deer and you got to get your car fixed. So you have extra money in a separate checking account, and you can have, like maybe right here, set up an automatic transfer, and you can just go auto transfer to emergency. Oh, it says some cities have free money counseling too. Yes, very important. And go with the ones that are done by the state. A lot of the other ones, they're just they're good, but I don't think they're as honest. They're more for your money, trying to get money out of you. They do the consolidation stuff, so be very careful with them, because that can mess up your credit history too. Auto transfer to emergency account, right? And so I would say, so maybe I set it up for the 15th of every month, that $20 is going to come out. So I would add that there. So, and Dave Ramsey says you want to save up $1,000 first. That way, when you have an emergency, you can use that cash rather than your credit card, and keep to stop using your credit cards as much as possible. So that's one thing you can do, is just have an automatic transfer, put it in your budget so you know when it's coming out. It's the 15th. Okay, this is the 13th, so it's going to process on the 15th, which is before this paycheck, so I need to put it here. And that'll help tremendously. And then you can see all of it. You see everything that's going on, and you are in control. Okay, so hopefully that helps. This is a YouTube video, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps support the channel. I'm going to start building up this channel, putting these videos on my own shadow work into these. So please support the channel. And if you like these kinds of videos on shadow work and witchcraft and the little insights, tips, and tricks, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to put in tons of videos and hopefully to support the witchcraft community, to help you with your own. Now I have to figure out how to shut this off.